Mesopotamia, one of the earliest civilizations, was located between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers in what is now modern-day Iraq and the Persian Gulf. The area is arid, but Mesopotamians established a canal system harnessing the two rivers, providing water to simple ditches used to irrigate the crops, resulting in an increased food supply and population explosion around 5000 BC. Hundreds of years later, one of the world's first civilizations, Sumer, emerged. Over the centuries, silt carried by the Tigris and Euphrates built up the stream beds. Eventually, the surrounding farmlands were below the level of the rivers. The Sumerians constructed levees to contain the rivers, which worked except during major floods. The irrigated water went to the fields and evaporated, leaving behind layers of salt. The soil also became waterlogged in places. By 2370 BC, the Akkadian Empire from the north conquered a weakened Sumer, and by 1800 BC, agriculture in southern Mesopotamia had almost disappeared, leaving an impoverished people who lived on a desolate and poisoned land. One of the world's first civilizations had created a monumental environmental disaster. Biosolids is a global industry, and in the U.S., about 300 million pounds of feces daily from the nation's toilets make its way to wastewater treatment plants. The water is treated and discharged, leaving behind a toxic sewage sludge. Sludge used to be dumped into the oceans or burned by treatment centers, but by the mid-90s, these practices were banned due to air pollution and sludge causing dead zones in the oceans. Presently, the waste management industry is making profits by repackaging the sludge as fertilizer and injecting it into the nation's food chain. Sludge holds nitrogen, phosphorus, and other nutrients that help crops to grow, so the waste management industry lightly treats it and sells it cheaply to farmers who view it as a cost-saving product. Sludge contains 80,000 man-made chemicals that are discharged from industry's pipes and otherwise pumped into the sewer system. Other pollutants include pharmaceuticals, hormones, pathogens, bacteria, viruses, protozoa, and parasitic worms. Heavy metal like lead, cadmium, arsenic, mercury, PCBs, PFAs, dioxins, BPAs, and dozens of other harmful substances ranging from flame retardants to hospital waste. In 2019, about 60% of sewage sludge produced by treatment facilities was spread on farmland and gardens, as well as schoolyards and lawns. What will be the long-term effects of biosolids? In the long run, will one day the U.S. and today's global nation-states face a similar collapse to that of Mesopotamia?